Welcome to another production of ParkTV 16 Sports. We are on location at Benilde-St. Margaret's High School, bringing you Metro West Conference Girls Lacrosse, and this is a big matchup this afternoon. We are featuring the Bloomington Jefferson Jaguars coming in with a 9-2 overall record and 3-1 in the conference against Benilde-St. Margaret's, which is 6-5 overall, but 4-1 in the conference. So the lead in the Metro West Conference at stake, and it is an incredibly terrible day weather-wise here in St. Louis Park as we're about to begin in the center circle. That is Maggie Anderson taking the draw for Benilde. We're about to get going. Temperature is around 55 degrees. Winds are gusting at over 20 miles an hour out of the east. And the rain is starting to come, and it's not going to end until sometime tomorrow afternoon. But glad you're with us. Should be interesting matchup. Not only are both these teams at the top of the conference, but the weather will surely play a role here as Maggie Anderson has the ball and the first possession for Benilde. I'm Robert Christensen. Glad you're with us watching this great lacrosse action. And Benilde now goes on offense for the first time. The ball there is number 6 for Benilde. She is Maitland Luxan, a junior forward. Still no shots on goal. We're just almost a minute into the first half, and the ball is loose, and it's picked up behind by Maggie Anderson. And now Anderson will try to get something going here. She's the junior forward. She comes out in front and gets triple teamed and loses the ball, and that draws a whistle. Clock continues to run, and is that going to be a turnover or a free opportunity for Benilde? And it looks like Maggie Anderson from outside the semicircle at about the 15-yard line will have a chance here to go up on top early, 1-0. She takes on the goaltender for Bloomington. Her name is Jane Taylor, and that shot is blocked by Taylor, so the first free shot, 0 for 1, is Benilde and Maggie Anderson, but they retain possession. And we'll try again here. Now Anderson once again with the ball. Everything seems to go through her, and her nice bounce pass to number 4, Tillie Wolf. And now Wolf loses it, and ball loose and picked up again by Benilde. Great job there. She tries to get away. That is Jane Hoyt, the captain, and her shot is stopped by Jane Traylor. Great stop by Jefferson, and now they are off on the offense. Nice pass up there to number 20. That is Rachel Geist, a senior captain, and Geist now has it all the way into the Benilde zone. And Jefferson will now set up their offense for the first time. Score 0-0 early here in the first half. Now with it, number 19, Julia Jones, another captain senior for Jefferson. Again, they are 9-2. They have a stellar record. 3-1 in the conference. Now with it is Julia Jones. Jones, number 19, at the top of the key there. And her pass inside almost got by number 3, Sydney Leone. And Leone loses it, and the ball is loose. Chasing it for Benilde, number 16, is Anna Poland, the senior, and she comes up with it. Poland with it, gets it ahead nicely, as now Benilde brings it across midfield. With the ball there is Tillie Wolf. She continues to penetrate. That now is Jane Hoyt with it, and Hoyt loses it, number 3. She picks it up again, gets it over to the near side to number 12. That's Piper Elin. Elin now will slow it down, give it back to Hoyt. Gets it over to Wolf. Wolf loses it momentarily, but no one there for Jefferson. And now Wolf here. Now they'll just practice passing the ball back and forth, and the conditions are going to make it difficult to pass. Really gusty winds, and that wind may have affected that. That's a pretty unusual unforced error for a team as good as Benilde. Ball goes out of bounds, but they'll retain possession as number 13, Caroline Pauly, comes over to throw it in. Now maybe that is a turnover. Yeah, Jefferson, I thought that was what it should be. Now there's some confusion on the field. Clock continues to run, and yeah, Jefferson does have it. That was an unforced error and an unforced turnover. And now coming down the right side, that's Ella Graff, the sophomore, as she gets defended there by Benilde, and they take it away. Ball loose now in the corner. Nice job there by Benilde on defense, specifically Franny Scher, the senior defender, almost taking the ball away. But now Jefferson has it. That's Rachel Geist. Gets it over to number 3, Sydney Leone. Now with it, number 15 for Jefferson, Kayla Youngworth. She comes right in and scores the first goal of the match. Number 15 comes in there, Kayla Youngworth, the sophomore, scores first for Jefferson, and that causes a committee meeting. Let's go to the replay as she splits the defense right there, finds an opening, and then does sort of a sidewind shot and just gets it inside the left goal post for the first goal of the match. So it comes at 20:31 to go here, first half. So the 9-2 Jaguars, 3-1 in the conference, draw first blood, and we'll go back to the center circle, and that will be Youngworth versus Maggie Anderson. Youngworth just scoring that first goal, the sophomore, going against the junior for the faceoff, and these faceoffs are all important. Benilde won the first one to start the match, but was unable to capitalize. Now Maggie Anderson wins that as she draws it to herself, and now she brings it into the offensive zone, being guarded very closely there by Youngworth, and that draws a whistle, likely against Youngworth, and that will bring a stoppage, although the clock continues to run. Boy, the fans that are here are really toughing it out. I will say that right now. Conditions could not be worse for this late in May, as the St. Margaret's does lose the ball. But now we have a whistle. The ball is in Trailers, the goaltender's basket, and she will start it out. Gets it up to Youngworth, and they'll start their assault back on Benilde. Nice passing there, and it gets it over to Geis, number 20. Geis, Rachel has it, and she comes into the offensive zone. Nice pass there to number 16, Graff. Graff comes right in and loses it. And with it is number 16, here's who on the near side, number 5 for Benilde. That is Sally Callinger, the senior captain, and Callinger brings it all the way in the offensive zone, past the 20. She's got lots of room around her. I thought she might dart in towards the net there, but she decides to bring it back behind the net and allow the offense to set up. Benilde down 1-0 here, trying to improve on their 6-5 record overall, 4-1 in the conference. Sections start next week. Now, as they go inside there, that's number 6, Maitland Luxan. And Luxan loses it, and it's picked up by Hoyt. Nice save there by Hoyt. So Benilde having a little difficulty early on here, penetrating that perimeter defense by the Jaguars, but they'll continue to try here, and now losing it there. Again, uncharacteristically, Caroline Pauley. And the wind is 18 to 20-something miles an hour, gusting due out of the east. If you look at the flags, if we ever get a picture of those, you'll see how windy it really is. And that can really affect the ball flight, even on short passes. All right, now with it there, number 18, Grace Junkless, the senior midfielder, over to number 12. That is Piper Elin. Elin now with it. Red Knights trying to even the score here, and the nice little give and go between Elin and Junkless, and in close, attempted shot on goal, misses the mark, rebound goes back to Benilde. Scooping it up there for the Red Knights is Franny Scher, the senior defender, and the ball comes back around quickly at the top of the key. That is Elin. Elin trying to penetrate that defense, unable to do so. Quick pass inside, unable to connect, and Trailer, the goaltender, scoops it up for Jefferson, and now Jefferson has it again. And that outlet pass misses, intended for Anna Gall, and it might go out of bounds. Playing it now for the Jaguars. A whistle is blown, and the Jaguars will retain possession. Not sure what that whistle was about. And now number 13 will take it, Morgan Jones. Jones now for the Jaguars, as she does get around number 18, Junkless. Junkless catches up and pushes her back into the corner, and she'll now allow her offense to set up shop. Ball now to number 19. That is Julia Jones. Jones trying to penetrate from the top, gets pushed all the way around the perimeter on the left side, and she'll wheel all the way around behind the net. Good defense there by the Red Knights. Still with the ball, Jones, a captain for the Jefferson Jaguars, and great defense by the Red Knights. Number 12, Piper Elin, pushing her on the outside. Good perimeter defense around that goal box, and now we have a whistle from the judge behind the scene. There he is in our camera. Oftentimes, I think these officials look like directors of a play, especially in the girls, the way the rules are. They all stop like they're statues out there, like it's some sort of backyard game. Still not used to that, but we're back underway now for the Red Knights, and that is Kayla Youngworth. She got the first goal and the only goal of the match in the first half earlier. Losing the ball there. I think we're going to see a lot of that with these weather conditions. I'm not sure how this field accepts this kind of water. So far, I haven't noticed any slipping, but I have noticed an unusual miscommunication with the passing. Even the short passes on both teams, a lot of loose balls, and these two teams are too good for that to happen, except when you're playing in 20-mile-an-hour wind gusts on a cold, rainy day here in late May. It feels more like November. And now we have another whistle. Jaguars still retain possession as we are now below 16 minutes to go. First half coming in was Leone, and she got Malachi crunched there by Benilde, and that drew a whistle. Both number 16, Anna Poland, and Grace Junkless there on defense. And I think Leone is going to have a free shot here at Benilde's net here to try to go up 2-0. And let's see what happens. She comes right in, takes a shot, and she bounces it in right under the crossbar. Leone scores goal number 2 for the Jaguars, and that was a smart bounce shot. I've never seen one so effective. And I think that ball is going to count. Let's go to the replay. Watch where she bounces this thing. Coming right in there, and it just goes right over the right shoulder of the goaltender, number 30, Brooke Nelson, just an 8th grader in nets here tonight. And I don't recall seeing her. Now that's going to be a draw, a timeout by Benilde, down 2-0, although I only see the scoreboard says 1-0, and I'm wondering if that goal counted or not. So we'll look at what happened earlier in the season for both these teams as Coach Anna Bowlesby gathers her troops. Down 2-0, I believe, although the scoreboard, a little slow on the scoreboard. I still think it's going to be 2-0. That goal came from Sydney Leone, a senior for Bloomington Jefferson. And looking at the prior schedule for both teams, looking to see if they had similar records against common opponents. And boy, the wind is really, really gusting out there, and it's only going to get worse as this game progresses. These timeouts just make it worse, prolonging the weather conditions. There was some hope that this game would get in without rain. In fact, it was originally scheduled for 7 p.m. tonight, and they moved it up to 5 o'clock, I think because of the weather. There's a varsity baseball game going on in the other field here at Benilde-St. Margaret, so I look out at the parking lot, and it is jam-packed. They're trying to get a lot of sports in. It's been an awful spring weather-wise for all spring sports, and I'm sure all the schools are trying to cram in these games. Graduation's coming up for Benilde this Friday. Sections start next week for several of the sports, if not all of them. And so there's really pressure to get these games in prior to sections beginning so that we can determine the good seeds and who gets where. And all right, there's Bloomington Jefferson coming out of their timeout. Benilde still talking about it. They know how important of a match this is. And Jefferson so far looking like the better squad, unfortunately for the Red Knight fans. So let's hopefully this timeout will create a little better situation for the Red Knights, although I still see the scoreboard still says 1-0. There's the 2. They put it up, so it's 2-0. Till I see it on the scoreboard, it's not official. All right, we'll go back to the center circle, and you can see the wind blowing on Maggie Anderson's jersey there. It's just, well, she pulled it a little tighter there, but before she did, you could just see it billowing. And up here in the press box, you can just hear the wind howling outside the cracked windows of this press box. If we go out of the center circle, Youngworth on the left and Anderson, they've been taking the center draw all match long, and this is their 3rd opportunity. Maggie Anderson has won them all, but they haven't resulted in goals, and this time Bloomington wins it. Youngworth able to get it over to her teammate, number 13, Morgan Jones, the sophomore. And Jones gets it inside, and she does get it to her teammate, number 10, Jenna Johns, and Johns brings it out. She was in tough traffic there, so Jaguars winning their first faceoff are going to try to extend their lead right away to 3-0. Let's see what they can do and what Benilde can do on defense. Now number 13 with it, Morgan Jones. Jones inside to number 19, that is Julia Jones. Now Megan Jones, 13. Oh, wide open right there on the doorstep. Pass intended for Jenna Johns, and she was unable to catch it, and that's going to be a turnover. And Benilde now has it. Their goaltender, Brooke Nelson, just an 8th grader, still holding on to it, and she does decide to get it out to the right side as she outlets that pass to Franny Scher. Scher now with it. Over to the sideline, loses it momentarily, but recaptures the ball, and now she'll try to bring it on the inside, and she finds some space as she nears midfield, does a turnaround, triple teamed, and a short pass complete to Hoyt. Hoyt now gets it over to the right side as they go into the offensive zone. Nice lead pass there for number 19, Emma Peschel. Peschel now will rush the net as she gets pushed away. And nice defense by the Jaguars, pushing Peschel away. Now she gives it up to number 6, Maitland Luxan. Luxan with it on the near corner. She'll try to work the inside on defense for the Jaguars. That's Megan Madsen. Now to the top of the key, that's number 12, Piper Elin. Elin now will try to penetrate the Jefferson defense. She takes a quick shot and she misses it wide left, but it was blocked by Trailer, and the ball comes ricocheting all the way out at a 45-degree angle. Picked up, though, by number 4, Tillie Wolf. Wolf now will bring it back into play on the offensive zone as we are now under 13 and a half minutes to go first half. If you're just joining us, Jefferson has dominated on offense and defense so far. I don't even think Benilde has a shot on net as of yet. Although Trailer, the goaltender for Jefferson, has played pretty well so far, but it's early in this match, and look at that perimeter defense. Jefferson seemingly impenetrable right there, as a matter of fact, is another example, pushing Peschel away. Peschel will try to sneak it around from the outside. She almost does, but her shot goes over the crossbar, but rebounded and picked up by Benilde, so they'll have another opportunity as we're now below 13 minutes here, first half. Great Metro West lacrosse action. Number 6 now moves in. Luxan comes right in on Trailer, and Trailer stops her. Trailer really impressing in nets here for Jefferson so far. She quickly outlets it to number 13, Morgan Jones. Jones having plenty of room. She crosses the 50 with a pass to number 19, Julia Jones. Jones, nifty little pass back to Jones, and now Jones comes in on the 20, coming right in, and she tries to get the ball right in front, and her pass intended for number 16, Ella Graff, was a great idea. Had she connected, that would have been trouble for Nelson and the Red Knights. Fortunately for them, the ball did not connect, but Jefferson still retains possession. Ball loose now, and picked up by Jefferson's Julia Jones. And Jefferson remains on offense. There is Youngworth, who scored the first goal with it, as she turns up over by the 15-yard line on the far hash mark. Now that pass goes in, and down goes hard for Benilde. I think that was Jane Hoyt. We'll look at the replay here. And that shot there by Brooke Nelson, nice save by her. And it was scooped up by Morgan Anderson. But we got a free shot on goal. I don't know what they really called in lacrosse. It's kind of like a free kick, almost like a penalty kick, coming right in and scoring it right from point blank range. I believe that was number 19. It was Julia Jones. There she is, and let's watch the replay. Let's see. She got a nice quick jump, split the defense, and beat Brooke Nelson on the fly. Didn't even bounce it near the right side. So Brooke Nelson a little slow getting over to block that shot, and now Jefferson up 3-0 with 11:25 to go here first half in this conference matchup. West Metro, Jefferson with a 9-2 record overall, showing why that record exists for them, taking on Benilde at 6-5. And we'll go back to the center circle, and the familiar characters are there. That's Maggie Anderson, number 9. Official announcement, Julia Jones getting the 3rd goal for Benilde. And so far, the Jaguars not showing any deterioration in their game due to these horrible weather conditions, quite frankly, especially for late May. It's been a slow spring, and this is just prolonging, if you even want to call this spring. I call this late November fall weather. When's Thanksgiving coming up? All right, now number 13 has it, Morgan Jones. Again, now the Jaguars have won the last 2 faceoffs. They're up 3-0. And Benilde looking for something to get some confidence in this match. And with this weather, it certainly doesn't make them feel any better. I've played a lot of sports in high school in my life, and when you were down and the weather was this bad in spring, especially when I played baseball, all you wanted to do was get off the field. I don't think they're at that point yet, but Benilde needs to get something going here. Down 3-0, and they haven't had possession on the offensive end for quite some time. Now wide open inside there. Nice save by Nelson. Number 19 for Jefferson, Julia Jones, tried to sneak it in tight there. There was the defensive Sally Callinger coming over there. Great on defense, allowed Nelson to make that save. Really, credit goes to Callinger. And Callinger now looking for a cross pass. Nelson still holding on to that ball, having a difficult time deciding who to pass it to. The Jaguars smothering the defense, and Nelson still unable to figure out who to pass it to. I think she's a little bit indecisive, and her pass misses, but it's a good miss as it gets ahead to number 19, Peschel. Now they've got numbers 4 on 2, and they cannot connect, and that allows Jefferson to get back on defense. Boy, that would have been some dumb luck. That pass was not caught by who it was intended to, by Nelson, but it went right to Peschel, and suddenly I thought they had 4 against 1, and somehow they were not able to get in there, but they do retain possession. That's number 12, Piper Elin. Below 10 minutes to go here, first half. Ball now held by Maggie Anderson. She's one of the scoring leaders out there for the Red Knights. Let's see what she can do to jumpstart this offense as she comes right through and shoots, and another save by Trailer. Or did that ball go in? Yes, it is a goal. Very difficult to see here. I've got raindrops on the window I'm looking through in the press box, but that was a goal, so just what they needed, Red Knights, and it was Maggie Anderson who delivered, which is exactly what they needed as their team leader to step up. So the Red Knights finally on the board, and let's see if that turns the momentum. There's a good shot of Maggie Anderson. Hands on her hips. I'm sure she's frustrated, and you can see the wind blowing down there. Cannot be comfortable on that field. It's worse for the fans. The fans are sitting on metal benches in really windy, rainy conditions here in St. Louis Park. If you're watching at home, you're in the perfect place to be watching this on our HD color TV with replay. We're glad you're with us at ParkTV 16 Sports. We love bringing you all this action all year round from all the high schools in St. Louis Park. As now Benilde, following that goal, gets the faceoff, and let's see if this is a big momentum changer. Grace Junkless now with it. Another senior captain gives it up, and that's number 20 with it. That's Zila Gunvalson, a sophomore. Now behind the net, the Red Knights, I think that's number 6 with it, Luxan, trying to cut the lead to just 1 on this trip down. Be their second goal in a row. Luxan looking for a spot. It has to turn back around, showing great footwork there as she tries to negotiate that tough defense by the Jaguars. Now Maggie Anderson to number 20, again Gunvalson, and Gunvalson almost got in there, and now she gives up the ball, and it's loose. And is it going to be a turnover? And it is. I think Jefferson has it. It's a little difficult to see in these conditions, so I apologize if I can't always get the name. Number 7, thank you. Lauren Palmer. And we got a stoppage. Palmer with it. And she tries to get it to her teammate, and it falls loose. Oh, I got a window washer here. This is great. Thank you very much. Do I owe you $1? Am I on the freeway? Wow, that helps a lot. Thank you very much. You might have to do that again. As I said, it's raining out here, and it rains on the window. Thank you so much. As we're back underway now, Jefferson has possession with a 2-goal lead as we're now below 8 minutes here in this Metro West matchup. In the far corner, now the ball gets to number 16 for the Jaguars. That's Ella Graff. Graff with it as she tries to patrol in there. Now she gets double teamed, getting pushed around and knocking it loose on defense is Morgan Anderson. And Morgan Anderson gets that turnover for the Red Knights, and now they go back on offense if they can get it across. And that was Morgan Anderson, number 2, jostling that ball loose and picking it up, and now she has it right there. As she now starts the momentum towards the offensive and gets it to her. I believe that must be her sister, Maggie Anderson. Oh, you would never know with Anderson. There's a lot of them in Minnesota here. But Maggie now gets it down. And now she gets it up to number 3 for the Red Knights. That's Jane Hoyt. Over to number 12, Piper Elin. Then to Anderson, and losing it, Peschel out of bounds. Is that gonna be a turnover? Below 7 minutes to go, and it is a turnover. So miscue there on the pass, but I have to believe that has to be due to the weather conditions and the wind. So now the Jaguars will start out deep in their own zone. Red Knights are gonna try to get a turnover here while the ball is in the zone, and with it there's number 14 for the Jaguars. That's Paige Thompson, another captain. A lot of captains on both teams. Paige Johnson now into the offensive zone. Stutter steps and keeps with it. And now she gets it up to number 13. That is Morgan Jones. Lots of sister combinations or cousin combinations on both sides, which is not unusual in these lacrosse matches, especially. There's a lot of players. Jefferson with a 2-goal lead as we're now below 6 minutes. Both teams used to scoring many more goals because of the weather. It's probably going to keep the scoring at a minimum, so every goal matters here, especially. Behind the net now, number 16, Ella Graff. Graff with it. Short pass behind the net. That is Youngworth, I believe. Yes, it is. No, that's Julia Jones. My fault. And the pass in. Oh, she was open for a brief second, but she was unable to handle it. Morgan Jones. And trying to dump it in there quickly from around the back end. Morgan Jones was unable to get the ball on net, and the ball comes loose. And now Brooke Nelson, the goaltender, has it. And we are at 5 minutes to go here, half number 1. Winding down the season, I think both teams maybe have one match left before sections. And Brooke Nelson holding on to that ball unusually long, having a difficult time. I don't know if she's indecisive or if the Jaguars' defense is that good. She finally gets it over to her teammate, number 12, Piper Elin, and now she gets it ahead to Sally Callinger, and Callinger is a leader on this team. She breaks free. She's coming right in, tries to pass it. I don't know why she did that. I would have taken it all the way, especially in this weather, and she decided to give it up. And now the Jaguars have it back on offense with 4:20 to go. With it, number 18, motoring, is Anna Gall for the Jefferson Jaguars, and she gives it up to Leone, Sydney Leone, who scored goal number 2 for the Jaguars, has it, and we are approaching 4 minutes to go. Boy, Callinger had a great opportunity. She sprinted almost 100 yards and tried to pass, and it got interfered and intercepted. Otherwise, I thought she was going to have an excellent shot coming in at a 45-degree angle with really no one between her and the goaltender trailer for the Jaguars as we watch Leone work the near right side as she gives the ball up to 19, Julia Jones. Jones now with it. Callinger on defense. Nice little pass as she dumps it to number 13, Morgan Jones, and she takes a shot and fires it right over the crossbar. Look at that replay. Boy, she had a chance there. Things are blowing around here. It's okay. It's all right. All right, play still continues. Jaguars have possession, 3:15 to go here. Quick moving first half. I'm sure the fans appreciate that, but they'd rather have their respective teams win, of course. And we got a stoppage. Clock continues to run. 3 minutes to go right now. First half. Jaguars now with it. Behind the net. That is number 13 for Jefferson, Morgan Jones. Now to number 16, that is Ella Graff. And almost coming away with it on defense was number 12, Piper Elin, but unable to corral it, and the Jaguars retain possession. 2.5 minutes to go. Youngworth tries to beat the defense and gets pushed away. Number 20 for Benilde coming over from the right side. Zila Gunvalson, great defensive work there by her, moving her feet, helping out on defense. And we have a stoppage, and Youngworth will take it from the far side. She gets it to Leone. Leone in traffic, and Gunvalson does another great defensive job shaking that ball loose. Now it is loose, and it's picked up nicely there by number 2, Morgan Anderson. Morgan Anderson brings it into the offensive zone. And she'll try to set up shop as we're below 2 minutes. And nice pass ahead in this terrible conditions to Maitland Luxan. Now Luxan. Benilde would love to get another goal here before halftime to cut it to 1. 1:40 to go as Maggie Anderson has it on the far side. And pass, centering pass intended for number 13, Caroline Pauley, unable to connect. And the whistle draws a stoppage. Some disagreement in the stands by the Jefferson parents. And now a great opportunity for Caroline Pauley, the captain, with 1:35 to go. Clock stops. She'll come right in on the free shot, and she scores. She beats Trailer on the left side, inside the post at about shoulder height. Cuts it to 3-2 with 1 minute 31 seconds to go. And if you're just joining us, Jefferson was dominating, but Benilde has now clawed their way back into this match as with that goal right there. Number 13, Caroline Pauley on the free shot following the whistle makes it 3-2, and there she is. Boy, when you're scoring and playing well, you don't feel the weather conditions. When things aren't going well, you feel them a lot. So they've got to be feeling a lot better here. As we'll go to the center circle. And there still might be some more scoring here at the end of the half. I'm sure Jefferson wants to answer right back. And Benilde wants to keep the momentum going as they've scored the last 2 consecutive goals after being down 3-0, really clawing their way back in terrible conditions, showing a lot of grit out there as Jefferson wins that faceoff, and now they'll come in. Pass to Leone as she leaps for it, and she's able to get it, but she'll have to back up. And now wide open in the middle. Shot, nice save by Brooke Nelson, unbelievable, stops her at point blank range. Number 16 for the Jaguars caught that pass graph, and now Benilde with the ball, trying to get it across the halfway line, and now Callinger has it as we're below a minute to go, 58 seconds. Callinger now splitting the defense, goes through the center circle. This time she may hold on to it. Look at the power and speed. Now from behind she gets caught, loses the ball as Rachel Geist, the senior captain, catches her, and she does get a turnover. Great defense by the Jaguars on Callinger in that instance, and that pass misses, and it might be another chance for the Red Knights to pick up the ball. Ball loose. And now we have a whistle, and the ball, I think, ended up in the jersey of Anderson, Morgan Anderson. Somehow it got into her jersey, and no one could see it. There was no whistle, but now they're going to give the ball as a result to the Jaguars. And to start off with it will be number 16 for the Jaguars, Ella Graff. Graff now with it. 33 seconds to go. 3-2 lead for the Jaguars, trying to add one more here. Ball gets to Julia Jones. Jones, number 19 with it, trots through the middle. Little hop, skip, little gallop there, turns to the left side, tries to put the move on Callinger, gets by her a little bit and scores it right over Brooke Nelson's right shoulder inside the left post. Makes it 4-2 with 10.3 seconds to go. So Jefferson, after going scoreless, after getting the first 3 goals, does answer back with 10.3 seconds, and there's the move, and she eludes Callinger and then drills it right over the head and shoulder of Brooke Nelson to make it 4-2. And that causes a committee meeting in front of Nelson by the team, the defensive side there, and they'll come back out of that, and we'll go to the center circle. So the goal goes to Julia Jones. 4-2 here. Leadership of the Metro West Conference at stake with Benilde 4-1 and Jefferson at 3-1. And we go back to the center circle with 10.3 seconds. Still enough time if we get a little luck in a lane. You can score goals in lacrosse lightning fast. And on the face-off, it's controlled by Jefferson, number 20 with it, Rachel Geist. 2 seconds to go. She runs out of time, and that is your whistle. Concluding half number 1, our score 4-2. Come on back for half number 2.
Drownings are the #1 cause of accidental death for young children. Simple safety steps are the best way to prevent these tragedies. Make sure kids learn how to swim. Designate an adult water watcher to watch kids in and around water. Save the phone calls and texts for when the kids are out of the water. Properly fence all pools with fences at least 4 feet high and with self-closing, self-latching gates. When above-ground pools aren't in use, remove the ladders. When pools aren't in use, cover them. Teach kids to stay away from drains. And if a child is missing, check the pool or spa first. Consider the steps you take, then add a few more, because you never know which pool safety step will save a life, until it does. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.
Welcome back to ParkTV 16 Sports on location. We are broadcasting from the home of Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights girls lacrosse, taking on Bloomington Jefferson in this Metro West clash for ownership of first place of the conference. Our score is 4-2. Jefferson made it 4-2 with just 10 seconds to go, and they win face-off number 1. They're in their customary powder blue, going right to left against Benilde, and right away they're on offense, and losing it momentarily there for Jefferson was number 13. She is Morgan Jones, the sophomore, but Leone now has it behind the net, number 3. There she is, and she'll patrol that back part of the end zone behind the net, and she now passes it out front. And Jefferson on offense now for the first time in half number 2. That's number 19, Julia Jones with it. Jones also has a goal from the first half. If you just joined us, it was 3-0 early on for Jefferson. Then Benilde's clawed back as that shot by Youngworth is blocked by Brooke Nelson, just an 8th grader in nets today for the Red Knights. Making a key save there early in the first half. I'm Robert Christensen, glad you're joining us here on a rainy day. If you're watching this at home or on your computer, that's the best place to be, as the temperatures here are 54 degrees and dropping, gusty winds exceeding 20 miles an hour directly out of the east. And the rain continues to come down and seems to be getting a little bit harder as the game progresses, as Jefferson retains possession early here in the second half. That is Leone with it. Sitting in it, Leone is a senior captain for the Jaguars. Now she gives it up to 19, Julia Jones. Jones still with it. Low scoring matches due to the weather conditions. If you look at the scores of both these teams, they're used to scoring double digits. I don't see that happening this afternoon, however, in these conditions. That's number 13, Morgan Jones with it. Jones loses it, and that's Gunvalson on defense, picked up by Anderson. Those two have been stellar, along with Callinger on the defensive end for the Red Knights, and they come up big again against the Jaguars. That is Anderson bringing it all the way across midfield, and now she still has it. No, she gave it up to number 4. That was Wolf, and now into the offensive zone. Maggie Anderson. And that's number 18 with it, Grace Junkless now on the offensive zone. Junkless gives the pass and tries to get a return pass, and that does miss the mark as it goes all the way to the far near corner. And it's picked up by number 13, Caroline Pauley, who also has a goal. She got goal number 2 on a free shot. Now back out to Junkless, does a nice job, and just short passes can be incredibly dramatic with 20-mile-an-hour winds, that is for sure. And the east is directly across the field, so it's coming right at your camera, the winds. And now there's a turnover, and now the Jaguars will be on offense for the second time in the second half, and all alone streaking in on the right side for the Jaguars, and she gets pushed away. Number 18 for the Jaguars with the ball there. Anna Gall, sophomore defender, has to pull up. So good defense by the Red Knights. Callinger on the far side. One of their best players out there, Callinger, number 5. Playing very well on defense this afternoon. Game started at 5 o'clock, moved back from 7 o'clock due to weather conditions. They got a baseball game going behind us in this weather as well. And that shot by number 16 for Jefferson, Ella Graff, is blocked by Nelson, but she gives up a rebound and Jefferson picks it up. So they still remain on offense as we're approaching 21 minutes to go in the second half. and 20 with it for the Jaguars. Rachel Geist gets turned around, so good defense by the Red Knights. Both these teams fighting each other and the weather conditions as number 13 brings it in, Morgan Jones, as we are now below 21 minutes to go in the match. Jones with it. Taking her time at the top there. Looking for some cutters. Trying to find some open space. And now she gives it over to Julia Jones. Jones now, Julia with it. And both teams seem to be operating a little bit lower key right now. The weather has to be taking a little toll on their energy. And now Youngworth runs into Callinger. Nice job by Callinger, and they do call her for an infraction with the stick. And that means Youngworth will have a free shot, but from kind of a distance to go against the 8th grader, Brooke Nelson. Key part of the second half here. She comes right in and shoots, and it's blocked. Coming over on defense for Bloomington Jefferson was Anna Poland, and she makes the save as she tries to get it up to Callinger. Callinger loses it, and she pushes it ahead, and it gets rebounded back, and now Jefferson has it. Scooping it up for Jefferson was number 14 as the whistle blows. That's Paige Thompson, a junior captain. Lots of captains on these teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 captains for Jefferson. You wonder if there's anyone else on the team to lead with 5 captains. That's a lot of captains. All right, now they have it. And the ball eludes, and that's got to be a weather. And now Red Knights have it, and on the near side, that's Junkless with it as she breaks into open territory in the offensive zone as she comes careening in, and she gets more space. And she comes in and shoots. It's blocked by Trailer. That ball was right at her eyeball, so it was very easy save, but she gave up a rebound, and the Red Knights will retain possession, and they need to get a goal here in the second half just to get some momentum going. Because this weather, it's very cold. They don't get to go inside at halftime, so they just keep getting colder. And you really feel it if things aren't going super well for your team. And now the Red Knights, for the first time on offense in the second half, and that came almost 7 minutes in, as they will try to get in on Trailer. The goaltender for the Red Knights. Nice passing by the Red Knights. They come in and shoot and score. Number 4, Tillie Wolf gets the 3rd goal for the Red Knights with 18:32 to go. And that is a nice effort. They were really doing a weave there. Looked really good. And Tillie Wolf, little dance there. They are feeling the weather. She is one happy person there. She talks it over with Maggie Anderson. And we'll go back to the center circle. See if we can get a replay on that. You can see the fog. Here's the replay. Right there, just fires it down low and beats Trailer low inside the left post. So 4-3 is our score. 18.5 minutes to go here, second half, as we look at Wolf get into position for the face-off. So this is a great matchup now here with 18.5 minutes to go. It's going to be close all the way to the end, most likely. So if you're just joining us, keep watching. You're going to see some great varsity lacrosse girls here as Jefferson Youngworth wins it on the face-off as she comes in quickly, being guarded by Benilde's number 12, Piper Elin. And Youngworth has to turn around. Quick pass, though, and she gets stopped by Gunvalson. Is Callinger in on there? And the ball comes loose, and Gunvalson almost gets it, still loose, and Benilde comes away with it. Number 16, Anna Poland scoops it up, and in these weather conditions, just those little things like scooping up loose balls can make all the difference. And Brooke Nelson now has it, and Jefferson has decided to put a player right on Brooke Nelson, and that's good defensive strategy, but Nelson beats him over the top with a beautiful outlet pass to number 11, Abby Hancock. Now Hancock right at midfield, gets it up to Callinger on the bounce, and she tried to run without the ball. Ball still loose. And we've got a whistle and a foul called. And everyone looks to see, and we got a yellow card now. And I don't know what that means as the siren sounds, I think, by accident. So coming off the field will be Jane Hoyt. Not sure what the infraction was, but they pulled out a yellow card. That can't be good. So now Benilde will be down one player for a minute, maybe two, as across the field, Jane Hoyt will take a knee. And now we are underway with Jefferson with possession, and that is number 19, Jones with it for Bloomington. Jones gets it over to number 13, that is Morgan Jones. Jones and Jones. This time it's Morgan. Morgan, number 13, taking her time, gets it back to Julia Jones. Jones back to Jones again. Jones now looking and tries to get it inside to number 10, Jenna Johns, not to be considered. Oh, nice outlet pass to Kallinger, and she is off to the races. Look at her motor down the field, coming on the right side. Boy, can she move out there. She is one strong woman out there, I'll tell you what. She cuts back and gets it to Maggie Anderson. Now Anderson being guarded in the corner closely by Jones, and that ball goes out of bounds, and is that a turnover? Waiting for the call, and Jefferson is going to get the ball on that. So just as they got in the offensive zone, they shoot themselves in the foot and lose the ball. Now Jefferson with it, outlet pass to number 14, Paige Thompson. Thompson with it on the far side, still in her own zone, looking for a lane to get across the 50 as she got near sideline, and she grabs her head. She may have gotten struck by accident. On defense for Benilde was Caroline Pauley. And I couldn't quite see it there, but maybe with the butt of the stick, it may have just accidentally caught her. So that will be, now we have two players on their knees after that. So Pauley now on her knee, and we've got two players down, and Jefferson has a great opportunity here to extend their lead with a two-player advantage for a certain period of time. There's 16:07 to go here, second half. Here comes Jefferson's number 18 with it, Anna Gall. Gall with it, plenty of room now, up two players. Critical part of the game here if you're a Red Knight fan. Now Sydney Leone with it. Leone comes in right on top and scores it right over Brooke Nelson. So the two-player advantage costs the Red Knights on those fouls. And they still have two players down, and they are also going to be down 2 goals. And look at the goal here by Sydney Leone. Goes right over the head of Brooke Nelson. She's not the tallest goalie I've seen, so lots of room above her shoulders and her head there. And Sydney Leone, that woman right there, the senior captain, scores her second of the afternoon. Puts the Jaguars up 5-3. We'll go back to the center circle. Red Knights still are going to be down 2 players. Number 3 is on her knee, Jane Hoyt, along with number 13, Caroline Pauley. And we go to the center circle. That's Maggie Anderson against Youngworth. Critical face-off if you're Benilde. They can really kill some time here if they can get the possession of that ball. And it goes to the Red Knights. That's the Jaguars, number 20, Rachel Geist now. Geist now, pass to Sydney Leone, who scores her second goal in about 10 seconds. And those fouls are really proving costly. And that'll cause one player to come off the penalty box, for lack of a better phrase. Look at that, nice pass. Leone keeping that ball high, doesn't bring it down, allowing the defense to adjust, and she has completed the hat trick here. Her second consecutive goal makes it 6-3 Jaguars with 15:32 to go. And they are still going to be up 1 player when we go to the face-off circle. So, boy, the Red Knights really have dug themselves a hole here, down 3 goals in the second half. Looking at the scoreboard, it's still 5-3. There it is, 6-3. So now it really is going to be important for the Red Knights to get a face-off and to get a goal to stop the momentum of the Jaguars. Plenty of time to go, 15.5 minutes, but they've got to thwart this momentum and get it back as Maggie Anderson tries to get it, and she does get it, and they blew a whistle, and now she's off to the races. Let's see if they can get one right back here. Maggie Anderson coming in all the way, shoots and scores! Maggie Anderson answers right back. At 15-15, Maggie Anderson, and that is exactly what the Red Knights needed, was a turnaround goal. just like that. And now it's 6-4 with 15:15 to go here. And this match is getting exciting, more exciting by the moment, as the weather conditions are far from ideal. Gusty winds, rain, cold temperatures. Even though it's mid-50s, it feels more probably like 45 degrees out there with the wind and the rain. And as I used to say, I'll play in the cold and I'll play in the rain, but I won't play in the cold rain. But these girls are playing in the cold rain. They're all super tough out there. And we go to the center circle, score 6-4, 15:15 to go. Conference leader on the line here is Maggie Anderson, wins her second faceoff. Great leadership by Maggie Anderson. Now she gets the ball, trying to pick it up there is number 4, Tillie Wolf. And Wolf does come away with it. So after scoring that goal, they have a possession. And they have a chance to cut it, the lead to 1 here. Jefferson has led all match long. Started out with a 3-0 lead, then it went to 3-2, then halftime was 4-2. Then they scored 2 consecutive goals before the Red Knights finally get on the board here in the second half to cut it to 6-4. And now this is their possession ensuing that last goal just a moment ago by Maggie Anderson. She took it all the way unassisted from that face-off and really showed leadership there, taking matters into her own hands. Now behind the net is the Red Knights number 12, Piper Elin. Elin going back and forth. She'll allow her offense to set up a little bit more. She's being guarded very closely over there by the Jaguars, number 15. That is Kayla Youngworth. And now the pass in. That is number 12, Elin, and she gets pushed back. Both teams clearly play great defense out here, and the score indicates that at 6-4. Now, Tillie Wolf, and I don't know why she just didn't fire a shot. She tried to get a short pass into Grace Junkless, and it was unable to pick it up, but they do get the ball on the miscue, and that's number 12, Piper Elin, as she does a little scoop pass into Wolf. Wolf now trying to negotiate traffic, gets double teamed and has to retreat backwards. Now ball back to Maggie Anderson, now back to Wolf. Wolf now directing traffic, and now gets up to Gunvalson, who's played very well on defense, and now she comes in on offense, and she gets turned back. And now she loses it, and the ball is loose. Maggie Anderson tries to scoop it up, and still working at it. It's very, very tough conditions, and she's able to use her body to screen off the defender to scoop it up. Great job there by Maggie Anderson. Now, number 18 with it, Grace Junkless, another experienced co-captain, and as she does a spin move, there's a whistle, and I think they're going to give, couldn't tell who that's on. I think it's going to be against the Jaguars, and Grace Junkless now has a chance to cut the lead to 1 with a free shot, and nobody's going to be near her. Her against Trailer. Let's see what happens. She takes a shot and she scores right in the 5-hole and beats Trailer with 12:42 to go to cut it to 6-5. And just like that, boy, this has been a seesaw match. 3-goal lead by the Jaguars, then cut to 3-2. Then it's another surmountable lead there. And look at Junkless going right 5-hole with the bounce and beats Trailer. Great job by Junkless, and she gives out a big sigh of relief there with that goal. So we're at 6-5, 12:42 to go. And this match is as exciting as it gets, folks. If you're just joining us, keep on watching. This is awesome lacrosse, especially with these weather conditions. And we'll go back to the center circle. Number 16 for the Jaguars will do the honors. That's Ella Graff, and Maggie Anderson has been stellar at the face-off here in the second half, winning the last 2, and both times have resulted in goals. That tells you how important these face-offs are in lacrosse matches. Way more than ice hockey. Lacrosse, the face-off is everything. All right, now Maggie Anderson will go for the face-off, and she does have a height advantage, and she tries to scoop it up. Ball still loose, and scooping it up is for the Jaguars is Junkless. Finally, she gets it. And she uses her backside. She does a spin move. Ball gets knocked away. She picks it up on the fly and then cuts back against and splits the defense and breaks into the open zone, looking around as she does corral that ball. Gets it to Gunvalson. Gunvalson now with it. And now this is the 3rd consecutive possession in a row for That's a redundant statement, but it's the third consecutive possession for the Red Knights. They've scored on their last two, and they're trying to tie it up as we approach 12 minutes. Junkless loses it as she tries to cut towards the goal, and Trailer leaps high with her basket to corral that loose ball. Now her outlet pass completed to number 13, Morgan Jones. Jones gets it ahead to Paige Thompson. Now Thompson breaks in it to the offensive zone. Plenty of defense for the Red Knights there as they still are down 1 goal. They have never led or tied since the beginning at 0-0. Now Sydney Leone, who has a hat trick, gets it to number 15 for the Jaguars. That is Youngworth. She scored the match's first goal. Number 15 still with it on the far side as she circles around. Hands it off to number 19. That is Julia Jones. Jones now will come back on the top. Looking for a little penetration, a little opening there, and there's Callinger on defense. One tough cookie Callinger is. Now the ball to number 13 is Morgan Jones. Jones with it. She backs up a little bit, and we're coming up on the 11-minute mark. Number 16 loses it. That's Ella Graff, and she picks up her own miscue there. Now ball behind the net for Youngworth coming in on the left side, and she scores it right over Brooke Nelson's head, and that her height disadvantage there is really costing the Red Knights. Not her fault how tall she is, but they really are taking advantage by scoring a lot of those goals from the shoulders up. And it just makes it really difficult. And now it's 7-5, and that goal comes with 10:52 to go as we go to the replay. Youngworth comes right in, and getting over there just a little bit late for the Red Knights was Alyssa Harms, and just wasn't able to get there in time. And Youngworth went high. I'm sure that is the scouting report, is to shoot high on Nelson. And so they beat the 8th grader for their 7th goal. And there's now 10:52 to go here, second half. 9-2 Jaguars against the 6-5 Red Knights. We go back to the center circle. Maggie Anderson to take the draw once again. She can score from right there. Ball loose. And that is Junkless with it. And this time she really does have it as she breaks into the offensive zone. And she does a nice little spin move. Now gets it up top. And that is Wolf, number 4 for the Red Knights. Wolf now. Junkless to number 12, Elin. Elin trying to penetrate the right side. Has to back up after the double team. Now Elin comes back to the center at the top of the key. Still with it, does a spin move, comes in. I thought she might have had a chance to shoot there, but great defense by the Jaguars. Both these teams really do play good defense. And that is why they are 2 of the best teams in the state right here. Now the Red Knights. Number 6, Maitland Luxan has a shot and a goal. Number 6, Maitland Luxan with 10:56 pulls the Red Knights once again to within 1. And boy, do we have a great match here. There wasn't a lot of scoring in the half number 1, but they have opened up the scoring here in half number 2. And look at all those smiles by the Red Knights as we watch Maitland Luxan put the move on and goes to the left side and puts that ball inside the right post, beating Trailer. And now we have a timeout on the field with 9:56 to go as we look at the Red Knights. Maggie Anderson coming over, talking to the coaches. I don't know which team took that timeout. My guess is it might be Jefferson. As we do look at the overall standings and the conference standing, there's Benilde at 4-1, Chanhassen 3-0, Bloomington Jefferson 3-1. So those are your top 3 teams, and that tells you why this game is such an important match. Conference championship on the line, at least the regular season. All the teams will make the section starting next week, and also seeding comes into play with this match as well. So there is a lot riding on this match, and when it comes in these terrible weather conditions, gusty winds out of the east, approaching upper 40s here by the end of this match is my guess. And let's see, Chanhassen looks tough. They're 9-1 with a 3-0 record in the conference. Bloomington Jefferson here, they're 9-2. Benilde 6-5 overall, but 4-1 in the conference. Kennedy and Cooper have not won a game in the conference. Struggling St. Louis Park is 500 overall, 1-3 in the conference. And Chaska 3-2 in the conference, but only 3-8 overall, which is surprising. Metro West usually has a strong conference, and the wind continues to blow as the teams are talking it over. And our score here is 7-6. Half number 2. And we're glad to be bringing you this match. Not a lot of fans here, only the diehard parents is my guess. I think there's maybe 15 fans out on these metal benches, all with umbrellas, dressed for like winter time. And now Benilde breaks their huddle, and so do the Jaguars. And we're about to begin here, following the timeout here in half number 2. 9 minutes, 56 seconds to go. We are at the home of the Red Knights. You can see their logo there in the center circle, a big head of a Red Knight. And now we come out to the center circle, and that's Maggie Anderson once again to take the draw, following that goal by Maitland Luxan to make it 7-6. And we're waiting. Let's get it going here, ref. It's cold, windy, rainy. And he gets that position right away and starts it off. And ball goes high in the air with these two. Ball still loose, and Maggie Anderson has it, and she's quickly off to the races, trying to tie it up here since the beginning of the match. Maggie Anderson now comes back around. Trailer, the goaltender for the Jaguars. Anderson now to Junkless. Lots of leadership out there for the Red Knights, and they're going to try to tie it up this time down. Junkless gets it back to Elin. Elin tries to turn around, gets double teamed, and now scoops it back to Junkless. Junkless now working this right side. Most of their goals have come from this near side. And you can see the field starting to get a little muddier out there. It's been raining since about game time for the last hour and 15 minutes or so. Windy, cold, rainy. Perfect weather conditions. All right, now that is number 6 for Benilde, Maitland Luxan, who got the last goal here for the Red Knights. Goal number 6 is we're now below 9 minutes, and Luxan still with it in the far side, and play continues. I thought there might have been a whistle on that nudge by the Jeffersons on defense, and now Elin with it. Elin now trots towards the center of the field, and now she turns on the afterburners, but loses it. A little careless with that, and now picking it up again, number 6, Maitland Luxan. Luxan having a great second half here, scooping up balls, scoring goals, and she saves that offensive possession by scooping it up. And now back to Elin. Elin to Wolf. Wolf now turns and gets it to number 3, Jane Hoyt. Hoyt now trying to put the move on, and she gets pushed back. Great one-on-one defense by the Jaguars. Now Wolf with it. Wolf gets it to Junkless. Junkless just trying to power her way in and draws a call, whistle, and a foul. I think it's going to go against the Jaguars. Number 14, Paige Thompson. And now a chance for Junkless to tie it up here with a free shot. She's already scored 1 in the 5-hole. Let's see if she goes with the same strategy against Trailer, the goaltender, coming right in. And this time her shot to the 5-hole gets blocked by the left foot by Trailer, but the rebound comes back to the Red Knights. And with it is number 3, Jane Hoyt. Hoyt with it now. And back to, I think that is Junkless with it. Yes, Junkless, who just got stymied on that shot. Great save by Trailer, stopping it with her left foot. And Junkless did try the same strategy, going low and to the 5-hole. Nice pass in below. Wow, to Junkless, the give and go. She turned and tried to shoot it just over the crossbar. 9:11 to go, clock counting. Boy, the half is really starting to tick away here on both teams. Red Knights desperately trying to get a tie here, and they know they're going to be running out of chances with now 7 minutes to go. Luxan with it. Nice move there. She gets triple teamed and pushed. No whistle, though. Play continues on. I thought there might have been a whistle. She took a cross stick and looked like right to the face. Maggie Anderson now with it. Anderson on the far side. Wind continues to blow. Rain coming down. Down a goal. She takes a shot and misses it wide left. Going out of bounds, and I think the Red Knights will keep possession, and we are now at 6.5 minutes to go here. Here's that replay on Junkless's attempt to tie the score on the free opportunity coming in. and she had a clear shot, and the ball went right off the left ankle of Trailer. Now in front is Luxan. Luxan takes a shove from behind from the Jaguars. Number 12 on that push was Grace Flandermeyer, another captain junior for the Jaguars. Now Elon with it, number 12, backs up, gets it to Junkless. 6 minutes to go now, second half. What a match, and Junkless takes a shot and scores! She moved to her right, and there was a huge opening, and she took advantage and fired that shot inside the left goal post at about waist high. There it is, and she delivers that, and it actually went off the top of the basket rim of Trailer, the goaltender, and she was unable to bounce that back out. So it tips in off of her, I don't know what you call that, the basket. And that ties the score at 7. And so, boy, the Red Knights are showing all kinds of heart and perseverance, being down by a couple of goals a couple of times, have battled back and have finally tied it here with 5:52 to go in the match. And now they'll go to the center faceoff, and they have dominated the second half because of their ability to win these faceoffs. And Maggie Anderson is back in the faceoff circle against Youngworth for the Jaguars. Ball comes loose out of the faceoff, and this time the Jaguars have it. And it's been a while since they have had it, and they will try to answer right back. That's Rachel Geist, number 20, coming all the way in, and she tries to pass it down to Sydney Leone, and that ball eludes her, but she does scoop it up. So now the Jaguars will keep possession here, as now we have 5.5 minutes to go. Game tied at 7 for the first time since the beginning of the match. Now that is Youngworth with it, 15, getting pushed way out there as Junkless playing defense, and they are not messing around on defense, and now she breaks through the double team and scores. My goodness, she took a shot from Anderson right at the end of that, so she definitely paid a price, but she puts them back up right there. She somehow gets between Junkless and number 16 for the Red Knights, and then comes right up and takes a body blow from Anderson, Morgan that is, but she does take another 1-goal lead. So just about 20 seconds after the Red Knights tie it up, they now find themselves down a goal once again. So 5:11 to go here, second half. Maggie Anderson at the circle against number 16 this time, Ella Graff. So they got to win these faceoffs. That just tells you how important these faceoffs are. The last 4 faceoffs have resulted in goals. And now this time the Red Knights have it. And now Maggie Anderson off to the races, and she comes right down the center. Gets pushed back there by the Jaguar defense. Nice job there. Number 18 for the Jaguars is Anna Gall. Now back behind the net is Luxan. Luxan now comes right in, trying to score, shoots, blocked by Trailer. Ball loose in front, on the side. Luxan picks up her own rebound. Nice job by Luxan sticking with that ball. On the nice save there by Trailer. As we look at the clock, and we're approaching 4.5 minutes to go. Time running out on both teams here, but more importantly for the Red Knights as they find themselves down a goal once again. And now that is Junkless, number 18, looking for a little opening. Gets it down to Maggie Anderson. Tough conditions here on the field at Benilde-St. Margaret's in St. Louis Park, and that's Maitland Luxan now. Both teams taking a little bit. Nice pass to Elon, she scores! My goodness! Catching the Jaguars asleep. Elon. Nice assist there, and they tie it up, and boy, this game could not be more exciting. Back and forth we go. There is Luxan with a great assist. Look at that pass, and it's right where it needed to be at eye level, allowing number 12, Piper Elon, the sophomore, to just simply put it right past Trailer at shoulder level. There she is. Piper Elon ties it up at 8. 4:02 to go in the match. Conference lead of the conference on the line here. Conference section seeds on the line. Both these teams playing very, very well. Great entertainment here at ParkTV 16 Sports. Glad you're with us. And if you're just joining us, stay tuned. You're watching a great match as now we're tied at 8 with 4:02 to go. Go to the center circle. Maggie Anderson trying to get this all-important face-off with a tie score, and this time the Jaguars get it. And that is Youngworth with it. And she's off to the races on the far side. And these face-offs are so important, especially this late in the match. Now Youngworth with it, behind the net. And there won't be a lot of stalling. Both teams want to get a goal here. 3:40 to go. Youngworth now behind the net. That's number 16 with it for the Jaguars, Ella Graff. Now with it is number, let's see, that is number, sometimes it's hard to see. Number 13 is Morgan Jones. Jones now behind the net. Jones looking for some room. Nice defense by the Red Knights, pushing her away. And there is Morgan Anderson really pushing her. She tries to get it to Sydney Leone. Leone is very dangerous. She's already got 3 goals tonight. And that came way back early in the second half when she scored her second and third. Now with it, Youngworth, who scored the very first goal of the match, as we now have 3 minutes to go here, second half, and that pass, and Brooke Nelson comes up with a great save. And now the Red Knights have it. Now can they get the ball out? And Brooke Nelson trying to get it. She doesn't want to hold it too long, as now the clock, and she does finally get it to Callinger, and who could you get it to, as Callinger races around. She might be the fastest one out there, if not the strongest. On the far side, still motoring along. Down to the 10-yard line. She just sprinted about 100 yards, folks, and still has the ball and energy. As now we approach below 2.5 minutes to go. Callinger taking over. And now she finally gives it up. Red Knights now, 2:15 to go, trying to make the comeback of the season here at home, in the cold, in the rain, and they wouldn't have it any other way. Maitland Luxan now with it. Already has a goal and a great assist, looking to get that go-ahead goal for the first time. Luxan now behind the net, looking. Not a lot of harsh defense on her, and now she gives it up. And that is Eland. Eland got one of the last goals. Eland now with the long stick, does a spin move, comes right in, and oh, she had an awesome opportunity and unable to connect, but they do retain possession with 1:42 to go. Clock stopped. Red Knights with possession, and you can really feel the tension now. 8-8, 1:40 to go. Great excitement here at Benilde-St. Margaret's versus the Jaguars, and here come the Red Knights. They haven't led all match, trying to take the lead for the first time. Now Wolf, number 4 with it. Wolf looking to find some room as she rushes the net. Now gives that to Maggie Anderson. Anderson with it. 1:20 to go. Wolf, number 4. This has been a match of the Titans, folks. Unbelievable. Match tied. Now Junkless comes right in, shoots, and saved by Trailer. 1:07 to go. Jaguars have it. And the outlet pass is loose. Oh, and it goes right to the Jaguars. And a big push by Gunvalson comes up on defense, knocking the stick and the ball loose on Anna Gall. And here's that chance there by Junkless, and the ball was right at the body of Trailer, and she makes the save. Controversial non-call there. Some of the Jaguar fans thinking there should have been a foul and a man advantage, as we have an equipment problem now with the Jaguars, and now that's all solved, and she'll take the ball. Players will take their position. Referee all set, and we're back underway. Now we have a minute to go, folks. Jaguars with it, number 18, that is Anna Gall. Score tied at 8, 49 seconds to go. Gall with it now, behind the net. And now Sydney Leone, look out for her. She's got 3 goals. Now number 13, Morgan Jones, the sophomore. Jones now with it. She tries to rush behind the net. Her shot way off the mark. Ball going out of bounds, maybe scooped up by Jefferson. Callinger all over her in that far corner. Now she gets it. She comes back in on offense. 24 seconds to go for the Jaguars. She gets it up to Youngworth. Youngworth looking to penetrate. Gets pushed back, and that draws a whistle as Gunvalson used her stick. And she shows her frustration. And now a free shot for Youngworth at the top of the key from about 12 years. So Youngworth versus Brooke Nelson. Lots of defenders close by, though. This will be tough for Youngworth. 18.5 seconds to go. Everybody set, whistle, shot, and she misses wide right, out of bounds, and Jefferson will retain possession with 16.6 as we look at the replay through the fog. Just missed that upper right corner by a couple of inches. Play back underway. Jaguars with it. 12 seconds to go. Pass inside, misses the mark, ball loose. 7 seconds. Clock still running. Stopped. 6.2 seconds remaining. Jaguars with possession, score tied at 8. What a match this has turned out to be. As we get everyone set, 6.2 seconds and 3 seconds. She seems to be taking her time. Pass in the middle, knock loose, and there's your whistle to end the second half. And we're going to go to overtime. Score tied at 8. Come on back for the overtime.
What if being in recovery from a mental or substance use disorder was something we proudly showed the world? You might be surprised. Millions of people are in recovery, sharing hope, help, and support with family, friends, and community. Join the Voices for Recovery. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral for mental and substance use disorders for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Welcome back to ParkTV 16 Sports. We are on location at Benilde-St. Margaret's, and we are in sudden death overtime. What a match. If you are just joining us, stay tuned here. It's 8-8 seesaw battle since the very beginning an hour and a half ago in terrible weather conditions. We're in the upper 40s, 20-mile wind gusts. Score tied at 8. Benilde-St. Margaret's versus Bloomington Jefferson for the conference lead in the Metro West. And we go to the center circle, and it is Maggie Anderson, and she got it. And this could be it. That face-off was critical if you're a Red Knight fan. And Anderson almost loses it, and she does lose it. Youngworth has it. Critical turnover, and Youngworth will come away with it. And she gets it back to Trailer, the goaltender for the Jaguars. So now 2:40 to go. Sudden death in this 3-minute overtime. And that ball's loose. Oh, it was an unbelievable opportunity for the Red Knights. Elin, I bet she couldn't even believe it. Ball still loose. Now a whistle. And the clock stops with 2:28 to go. And I think the Red Knights have it. So they do escape that little miscue. And now Grace Junkless has it. Number 18. Junkless on the far side. Along with Maitland Luxan behind the net. And now Luxan has it. She has a goal and assist. Looking to get one more of either. She won't care. They just want to score. That's for sure. 8-8 here. And the ball gets bumped from her, and it's loose, and the Jaguars come away with it. Great defense there by number 16. That was Ella Graff, and now the Jaguars have possession, and that ball comes loose, and another turnover by the Jaguars. Boy, the Red Knights are getting all kinds of chances here. They got to stop throwing them away, and now that ball comes loose. And it's still loose. Now picked up by Hoyt. Hoyt now finally, and the Red Knights need to settle it down here. Minute 36 to go. Junkless. No shots on goal. Now Elin. Back to Junkless. My goodness, it does not get more exciting than this in girls lacrosse. 8-8. Both teams atop of the Metro West Conference in overtime. Sudden death. And what a seesaw match this has been. And the nerves might be playing a role for both teams. I bet they are just a little bit. They are both tough players out there in these weather conditions. Now Junkless with the spin move comes right in and goes to the left side and stopped by Trailer. Rebound in front, still loose, and a whistle and a stoppage with exactly a minute to go. And I think the Red Knights are going to keep possession. I watched the referee at the top. He was pointing Red Knights ball, and now they're going to talk about it, and this is a huge decision by the referees. And there they are talking about it as the players look on. And I'm not reading those signs because I don't know what they mean. And fans are not agreeing, and let's see who's going to get the ball here. And it looks like the Red Knights are going to get it behind the net. So a break for Benilde. Exactly 1 minute to go here, folks. Number 13 with it is Caroline Pauly. She has a goal here, and now she gets it to Maggie Anderson. Maggie Anderson with a huge height advantage gives it up now. Maitland Luxan. Luxan had a nice assist from that very location, comes around the far side, gets pushed back, still with it. Nice quick move. She comes right in. Oh, and just misses. Shot just wide left of the left post. Put a great move on there, and now they'll still keep possession with number 12 with it behind the net, Piper Elin. 39 seconds, we're back underway. Red Knights have possessed the ball the entire overtime of 3 minutes, sudden death. And now that ball to Junkless. And now the Red Knights have it. That's Luxan. She still has it, almost passed it. Now gets it to Junkless at the top of the key. 21 seconds to go. Pass down low in traffic, loses it. Now Jefferson has it and they lose it. Now there's a whistle and they're going to keep possession with 15.7 seconds to go. My goodness. And Jefferson has 15.7 seconds to go, about 100 yards down the field, and that's number 14 with it. For the Jaguars, that is Paige Thompson, the captain, as she gets it all the way, and now the ball is loose in the corner, 5 seconds, and it's picked up by number 13 for the Jaguars, Morgan Jones, and that is the end of the first period of sudden death overtime, and we have a player hurt on her sitting down. I don't know if it's over or not. Hold on a second. Okay, you want me to wrap it up? Are you sure? Okay, so I guess because of the weather conditions and our inability of the camera to really show you much, and I'm looking at our monitor here, I think they're going to go to another 3-minute sudden death. But this is going to conclude our broadcast. Unfortunately, it's 8-8 with 3 minutes to go. But fog in our lens is going to prevent us from continuing on. So I'm Robert Christensen for Paul Broden, our producer. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again.